Finally, we're going to quickly go through customizing your viewer interface using some of the settings here. We'll clear our measurements. And this particular model has this color data, but also has some intensity data from the scanner. And you can toggle between the two simply by choosing your desired selection. Some models may or may not have color and intensity values, and in that case you will not be able to change this. You'll only have a single setting depending upon that particular model. You can change the background color of the viewer. You can directly enter any custom value you want, or you can choose from the included palette. And that's not a good color. You can turn off the axis triad and you'll see it disappears from the bottom left. Turn it back on. You can also toggle the status bar off and on. You do that, the screen resizes. And turn it back on here. And finally, you can choose to show the pivot point. And you'll see we get a yellow dot up here. That means that was the last point in the model that we were rotating or interacting around. And you can see as we move the model, it actually is centered on that particular point. It literally pivots right around the yellow dot. We'll turn that back off. And finally, you can control the sensitivity level of your mouse by using these sliders down here. As our final step today, we're going to go through the use of the pretty render function. This function is primarily designed to be turned on right before you save a view. It's very processor intensive and causes quite a bit of lag or delay on larger models. So it's really not designed to be left on at all times while you're interacting with it. So we're going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and we will switch into pretty render mode now. And by default you don't see anything, but when you slide the point size to the right, you'll now see it takes a couple of moments to calculate, and we'll get a silhouetting effect in the model. Sliding the slider to the far right increases this effect a little bit more even. And depending upon the model you have and the way the data is arranged, the pretty render effect can produce quite nice results. Sometimes it produces not very nice results, but it's up to you. And once more, our typical workflow is to zoom in, find the view we like. We want to do a save view, but we want to render that with the pretty render mode. So we're going to slide it all the way to the right as our last step, since it takes a bit of time. Now we'll render. Now we can turn the render mode back to normal. Move our point size all the way down. And we're now free to navigate as we wish as the render completes. We'll save this. And you can see the image was rendered with a silhouetted effect. In the future, we'll be adding quite a number of additional visual effects to the CloudCaster engine, but for now, the silhouetting effect is all we have. If you have any questions about using the CloudCaster 3D Viewer, do not hesitate to give us a shout. Support@onlineinteractivesoftware.com.